Oh, wow. I just had my very own exclusive experience with Samsung's Galaxy XR. I can't wait to tell you all about it. Let's go. Okay, so when it comes to setting up the XRs, I found this much easier than the Apple Vision Pros. And the reason is because I wear glasses, but I didn't have to have my lenses set up, my prescription sent away beforehand. Samsung says that you can actually, 95% of people's eyesight is good enough just for the way the default setup actually is. So you can maybe unofficially squeeze glasses in between your face and the actual headset. Or there is a place where they have these sort of magnetic lenses that will fit in like the Vision Pros. But for most people, they don't actually need it, and I actually didn't need it myself. So anyway, when I put them on, I found that they were considerably lighter than the Vision Pros. I don't know what the exact weight is, but they did feel lighter, and there isn't a head strap option, although I'm told that there's a third party, that might have head straps. So putting them on was easy. Setting them up was really just about getting them the right fit for you, and they have these sort of forehead pads. Now, there are 3 that come in the box, and these forehead pads you can kind of stack to have it sort of rest comfortably on your forehead, and it does allow for quite a bit of space. Now, I did notice too that there's a lot of light leaking in from underneath your lenses, but that's actually okay because they do have these light blocker pieces that you can fit in there too, just to darken everything out. So anyway, once it was set up, it just did this special thing where it actually sort of figures out where your eyes are, how close they are together. There's a button on the top of the unit where it just adjusts for that, the same way the Vision Pros do. It does have iris scanning biometrics to lock it to just you if you want it, although when we did it, it was in a sort of a guest mode where it didn't actually ask for that. And once it was in, the experience is very similar to the Vision Pros. You can see through them in a mixed reality mode, as well as there's a setting where you can immerse yourselves in an environment like sort of a desert island or in a forest, in some sort of architectural spaces. So I tried a few of those as well. Resolution-wise, it looked a little more grainy. I'll have to check the specs, but they do say there's about 4K per eye. I thought it was maybe a little more grainy, but otherwise it's quite bright, and the sort of the mixed reality world looked quite realistic. I could touch the table, and my hands sort of were where I expected them to be. I could see them with a good amount of detail, and surprisingly, without wearing glasses, it was pretty focused as well, sort of once the eye adjustments sort of kicked in. And then from there, I think the actual responsiveness of it, like there wasn't any delays when I was moving my head around. There wasn't any sort of weird sort of hiccups or stuttering when I sort of looked at things. Sort of brightness-wise, I was in quite a bright room, so there wasn't a lot of issues with darker areas. It would be great to try them in a darker place or in something like outside, just to see how it handles sort of a lot of dynamic range. But the display looked pretty good, and given that this is Samsung, they do know how to make good displays. But overall, look, I thought they were comfortable, thought they were easy to adjust. It took very little time to get them set up, and not actually having to have my prescription lenses made up for them and slotted in was a real time saver and also a money saver. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with that. Now the actual unit itself, it's not as high quality feeling as the Vision Pros. It is lighter and there's more plastic there, because it doesn't have those sort of bottom light guards in automatically. Maybe that also cuts down on the weight. So it was pretty comfortable to wear. It does have a battery attached to a tether, just like the Vision Pros do. I asked how big the battery was. They're saying, look, it'll last for about 2.5 hours, and you can recharge it at the same time as using the device too. So if you do run out of batteries, you can just plug a USB-C into the little battery pack, and then it'll start charging it, and you can keep operating too. So there is hand tracking as well as eye tracking, similar again to the Vision Pros. You can make your pinch gestures. They said that, maybe open your hand up to make it more exaggerated, just so the system can sort of sense that. And it uses the cameras on the device. Now there are 13 cameras sort of arranged around the outside edges, as well as directly on the outside looking forward, as well as inside as well for eye tracking. I did a few sort of selecting objects in space and pinching to kind of align, I guess, the eye tracking with the gesture tracking. And I thought that was a good way of training the device. And then from there, I don't think it was quite as accurate as what the Vision Pros were in terms of that fine granularity. I did struggle a bit to point at a few things. The system is a little bit different, but generally it's a similar thing where you can grab the edge of windows, with one side to sort of draw it out and make it larger, change the aspect ratio, move it around, or use a microphone to enter text. That worked reasonably well. It does have spatial sound. It seemed pretty decent. It just worked when it needed to. I didn't watch movies or anything like that. I just watched a YouTube video, funnily enough, one of myself. And one of the other things that they like to demo there is that there was some photos as well as some videos, and these were just 2D things. But what it does is it spatializes them. It uses, I guess, actually on-device AI processing, and it turns your 2D photos into 3D as well as your videos, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they've got sort of a system coming up. I'll have to put what it's called on screen, where later in the year, they're going to turn this on, and you can take any video, say if you're watching YouTube or you know, a TV show, and it can turn that into 3D as well. So that was pretty cool to see. It all happens in real time on the device. And I guess when you're thinking about the actual software layer, because the Galaxy XRs are designed in conjunction with Google and Gemini, Gemini is really well integrated into the system. So you can sort of trigger Gemini and then ask it about what you're seeing. So I could be looking at some photos, and I could ask about what color jacket's in the photo and where I could buy it or where the photo is taken. You can use it in maps, and I can say, you know, go to the needle in Seattle, and it'll take me right there. So it's really good, I think, to have Gemini seeing what you're seeing, and then you can just use that context to get answers really easily. And I think that this will take us in a lot of cool directions. I would love to try some gaming, but I didn't get a chance to do that. I guess the demo is kind of limited that way. But there are external hand controllers that you can use, like these VR controllers, a standard sort of thing. So you could use that in some gaming experiences, or you can also use them for commercial or sort of B2B business applications and stuff like that. But I did watch, you know, some YouTube stuff. The clarity was good. I can make it really large. Now you can also connect it to a PC and get your desktop to appear. I didn't get a chance to find out whether you can make like a massive desktop or really high resolution desktop, or extend your desktop like you can with the Vision Pros, because I really do like that sort of multiple working sort of way of having your big screen in one area and then having, you know, your laptop's smaller screen somewhere else too. But yeah, the other sorts of things we did was we did some commercial demos where there's this training one for a surgeon where it's sort of how to intubate a patient. And it was really good to see. It was very, very detailed. It could actually even provide feedback about whether you're moving something too hard, like, you know, putting the device down someone's throat. That was pretty cool. And also, like, there was a visualization tool where, say, for example, you have like a CAD drawing a really super detailed 3D drawing of, say, a ship. And you can kind of look at it in real time and manipulate it in space and look inside it and look at the motors and the engines, and animations kick in to see the pistons moving. So there's, you know, some really cool applications there. In terms of pricing, look, we don't have any commitments there in Australia either, but given that the Vision Pro is $6,500, I really doubt it'll be anything near that. I think Samsung knows that they have to come in at something much lower. I was talking to Samsung's Nathan Rigger. Now he's sort of head of mobile tech in Australia. I'll put his details up on screen too. And he was saying that, look, this is really, the Galaxy XR is sort of the beginning. They really do see this as that starting point. And I think it's a good one. I think they've taken a lot of learnings from Apple on board. I think it's going to sort of evolve into more glasses-focused devices. So, you know, similar to like the Meta Ray-Ban types of ones, and providing more and more of the sort of mixed reality capabilities into sort of a form factor like that. Of course, obviously, that tech still needs to develop. You know, we've seen some interesting stuff from Google this year and some partners about what this can begin to look like. And I think Samsung's, going to definitely move in that direction. But for the Galaxy XR of today, I think that it's got some great commercial applications. It's interesting too that they've cut the costs by removing that outer screen that you do see in the Vision Pro, that one that sort of allows people to know that you can see them or not. And I think that's maybe an acceptance of the fact that, look, this is probably not going to be a device that you're going to see people walking around with like you did the Vision Pros out in the real world, just doing the things that they would do. I think they know that this is going to be one that you're going to wear in a sort of a fixed space, probably not moving around very much, although you could, because it is lighter and is more comfortable, and using it probably for more business or commercial applications, training stuff, or just for entertainment and watching the big screen stuff in multiple places. But look, from what I experienced, I think that it was definitely comparable, definitely some learnings on board. I think some real improvements around the weight, especially, and even the field of view. I forgot to mention this. The field of view, I think it's like 109 degrees high and 100 degrees wide. So I found that slightly bigger than the Vision Pro, at least higher. I think that you just feel less like you're looking through a tunnel, as good as the Vision Pro actually is. And again, I think that the wider the field of view is, the better it's going to be for your overall experience. Look, it's not so hard to hand over to another person either. if you want to share it with others, because you don't have to have sort of glasses to get a reasonable sort of level of focus and clarity either. And I think that's nice because, you know, you might have one at home with the family and you want to hand it over to the kids and they can use it and then hand it over. So I think that's another good thing that they've done here. But look, overall, that is my sort of first experience with the Samsung Galaxy XR mixed reality headsets. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I've covered a few things here, but you may have missed a few things that you might want to ask me about. Just leave something in the comments and I'll get back to you. I'm Val Quinn from GadgetGuy. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tech video.